Alright guys, how we doing? Chrissy Tanswater back again. Just like to start off saying a huge thank you to everyone that watched that last video, you know. It was pretty funny, I must admit it myself, it was quite a funny story. But over 200 people viewed it, lots of messages of support, one or two people asking for a Q&A. That'll come. I don't quite think I'm popular enough to be doing a Q&A, but thank you very much for the people that want to know. But yeah, the support's been really overwhelming. It's unreal. A huge thank you. You don't really know how much it means. The lockdown has been tough. This has just been a wee something I thought I would do for myself, but it's ended up being absolutely brilliant. The support from people, so uplifting. I'm going to just keep trying to get on with these. I've started work now, so uploads won't be quite as regular. Maybe once I get back into a good routine, kind of find the flow again with things, I'll try and get as many out as I can. But yeah, everyone, I just thought I'd tell you about the time I got the most mad with it in history, or drunk. Mad with it means drunk. And it was in 6th year in a forest. So I can't even really remember the reason, but me and my friends, we'd always been having bonfires, you know. They were usually quite low-key, few beers, round a wee fire, but this one we were like, we're going to give it a good go. And we built an absolutely massive bonfire, must have been about 1 metre high, easy. You know, we took the day, went and gathered trees from my neighbours that had just chopped down loads of trees behind their back. I'm sure, shout out to this girl Kira. We went round and destroyed her rabbit hutch for wood. Just absolutely leathered this thing and took it for wood. But it ended up being the event of the year, if I don't say so myself. Put on by yours truly, so buzzing. Oh, I've said before, I never thought I was that cool at school, but this was the number one. This was the number one event. But yeah, I got so steaming, and I was only 17, and the party gets going. We're trying to get a drink. My friend Jack comes round. He's got in this hip flask. He's got mixed like wine, brandy, vodka, rum, gin, anything you can imagine. We're wee guys, we're just trying our hands on booze. So he just poured a mixture into everything. So we're all taking shots of that before we head up. We've built the bonfire during the day and now it's time. We've managed to get a jump in. So everyone's took a couple of shots of this magic concoction from Jack. And then we're tanning a few beers. We go up, get things started. As people are arriving, we're trying to be good hosts, so we had a bottle of vodka. We're just giving people shots and shots, but maybe about 2 hours in, I was like, wow, I'm just a wee guy, and this is, it's really hard for me to get my hand on a bottle of vodka. And half the bottle's gone, so I grabbed it and tanned like at least half a litre of vodka. Now, I'd never even really been that drunk before in my life up to this point. After that, I remember downing that, and then the rest of the things I'm going to tell you is just other people have told me because I blacked out. I remember peeing, and then, oh man, this is embarrassing. I was peeing, and then, so I'm standing up straight like that, and then I just went, blump. Fell right back. Probably continued to pee, so probably fucking pissed all over myself. Lovely. So that's where I remember up to, is peeing and then falling over. Now, I get told I was being sick. After that, people were just partying and stuff like that. People were leaving gaffs. There was girls turning up in like dresses and high heels into the middle of this forest from other schools and stuff like that, just to be at this bonfire. So well pleased with that, but I can't remember that. So the night goes on, nothing too exciting. We're looking to leave, and my friend Sean tells me, he's shouting, Christopher, where are you? He's looking for me, trying to make sure I'm alright. And then he says, he feels something next to his foot. I'm passed out, laid just on the ground, face down, destroyed, sleeping. Luckily he finds me, and he picks me up. Now I lived pretty close to this forest, so they're like, take him back to his gaff. For some reason, they took me back and they're trying to feed me bread. And I was so steaming. These people are trying to like pick off wee bits of bread and force feed them into my mouth. And I'm just going spitting this bread everywhere, all over my living room floor. Made a mess of the place. Don't remember this, by the way. Don't remember this at all. So we're like, my friend Jack's like, he cannot stay here. He needs to come home with me. His mum and dad are away, so he's like, right, back to mine troops. We're going to sort him out. So his house is maybe like 10 minutes from mine, and he said I would go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then try and run away. But I was so steaming, I would take like 2 steps, boom, fall onto my face again. So eventually he's grabbed me by the neck. He's just walking me down the street like that. We get to his. He just throws me in bed. His mum and dad are away, so I get tossed in their bed, left to my own devices, and then I wake up in the morning, and this is from my memory, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm trembling and everything. I've never had a hangover before because I'm only a wee guy. You drink booze, you're fine. But I'm sure I gave myself alcohol poisoning. I turned yellow. And I'm looking about. His mum and dad's got an ensuite, so I go into the ensuite. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need water. I look in the bath. There's like a wee litre measuring jug just full of water. And I'm like, oh my goodness, Jack is a godsend. Who would even believe that this guy would remember to put a jug of water sitting ready for me in the morning? So I'm like that, grab it, take it back to the bed. Tan this. Oh no. A problem. I'm sick. And because I've just tanned a litre of water, it's a lot of sick. So I'm like, absolutely gross, projectile whitey and pure. You can hear that. Now obviously Jack hears it down the stairs, and then he says he hears just a big loads of splashing of water, and then me shouting, I'm sorry Jack, you're gonna hate me. So he comes up to find me in a horrible nick, spewed all over his mum. Oh man. Oh, spewed all over his mum and dad's bed, their wall. I'm feeling horrible telling this story, but it's in the past now. And I'm like, oh Jack, I tanned that water you left out for me. And he's like, I never left any water out for you. And I'm like, no, that jug of water you left. And he's like, that wasn't me that left that out there. Wait a minute, was it in the bath? And I was like, the one you left in the bath. He's like, that's for the cats. So he's got 2 cats. That was the cat's bowl of water, and they just left for the cats to just go and drink and have. Now there was a wee bit out of it, so I can only assume that the cats. Oh, I'm feeling not great even thinking about this, but the cats have definitely drank some of this, and I've tanned it. So maybe a good thing that I was sick, and then some. I'm feeling horrible. I'll go into, they've got an ensuite, I just lie down on the floor, the bathroom floor, and I'm passed out in there. Respect to Jack, because he cleaned the place up. It was my mess. He cleaned it up, got the place looking spotless, and then I find the will somehow to get home. And Jack's like, right, I'll walk home with you because you look like death. You look horrible. He takes me home and I get in the door instantly. My mum is screaming at me. There's bits of bread all over the floor because people have tried to force feed me that bread. I never texted her at all to tell her I was going to stay at Jack's. I'm obviously quite young. So she's freaking out. She's like, Christopher, screaming. And obviously Jack's just standing there behind me. But my mum's so nice that she's like, me, screaming, I was so worried. And then, Jack, how are you doing? Good to see you, son, good to see you. I hope you're alright. How are you doing? Straight from that pure, right on to just, how you doing, Jack? And obviously Jack's there just like, I'm alright, Marion, thanks. He turns round and legs it. My mum and dad ground me, right, but that night at dinner, I think they realised the hangover itself was enough punishment. They were like, look, you're not grounded anymore. You look terrible. I think you've learned your lesson. And to be fair, I don't think I've learned my lesson. I still end up absolutely leathered when I go out. But yeah, there you go, the tale of the most mad weight ever, Chrissy Tan's water. All in high school as well. The hangover lasted a few days, so I ended up in high school with a hangover and everyone's like, hey, you legend, what a party. And I'm like, oh, please don't speak to me. That was the tale of how I got so mad with it. Cheers for listening, guys. You know, as we do, Chrissy Tan's water, we'll go tan a glass of water. I've got a wee question for everyone. I've done a wee quiz on Instagram before and people seem to like it, so I'll give you some time to think while I'm down in this. But where is the #1 UFO hotspot in the whole of the UK? I'll give you a clue. It's in Scotland. Leave it in the comments if you know, but good luck. Cheers, guys.